Всем привет! Меня зовут Исаченко Юлия, и вы смотрите курс по чтению от The School. So, it is our last meeting from this course, and we're going to discuss today reduction, just like in the previous video. But today we're going to talk about reduction of consonants. And also we'll talk about such a concept as voiced and voiceless consonants. Let's start with this point. So, consonants can be divided into two parts, voiced and voiceless. What does it mean? Voiced consonants use your voice to be pronounced. Let's look, for example, b, v, d. It's difficult to pronounce them without your voice, for example. No, you need to use your voice to pronounce them, right? And voiceless consonants are the consonants that can be pronounced pretty accurate without any voice, like this, when you do like this. For example, f, f, f. You don't use your voice and they sound accurate, just like they should sound. K, t, s, sh. Great. So, in the Russian language, we have pairs of letters, of consonants. They sound pretty similar to each other, and the difference between them is that they can be voiced and voiceless. Let's listen to and compare. B, p. They are very close to each other, and this fact that they are close is in the fact that they are voiced and voiceless. So let's go to the next one. V, f, g, k, d, t, z, s, ž, sh. Let me read them faster. B, p, v, f, g, k, d, t, z, s, ž, sh. And we're talking about this concept of voiced and voiceless consonants because we're continuing talking about reduction. So our feature pronunciation number 2 is that sometimes voiced consonants are replaced with voiceless consonants. It happens naturally because it's easier to pronounce voiceless consonants. For example, to pronounce letter B, you need to use your voice. To pronounce letter P, you don't need to use your voice, and naturally it's easier to pronounce letter P. That's why under some circumstances we use P instead of B. Let me show you what I mean. Let's look at word klub. To say klub, B, you need to use your voice when you pronounce the end of this word. And in fast speech, it's pretty difficult. That's why naturally you happen to pronounce P instead. Please compare the way it's written and the way I would pronounce it as a native speaker. Klub, 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 klub. Let's take another example. Город, 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 город. It's easier to pronounce to the end of the word. Of course, the main thing that you need to remember, to notice, to recognize it, is that we usually do this thing with the last consonant, last voiced consonant. But it also sometimes happens with a consonant in the beginning or in the middle of a word when it's before another consonant. Let's look. Автобус, автобус. We don't say автобус, автобус, because it's difficult to pronounce like this. Автобус, we say автобус, автобус, автобус. And another example, for example, юбка. We write юбка, юбка, but it's difficult to pronounce it like this. So we pronounce юбка, юбка. And that's it about pronunciation. So when my students ask me how to remember all these rules, I say that you can learn them by heart, but actually without practice it doesn't usually work. So I recommend you to make a list of these features of pronunciation. So we have reduction of vowels, we have reduction of consonants, and when you learn new words, especially during first 2 or 3 weeks, you can look at this list of features of pronunciation and check, do I have it here? Oh yes, that's an example of reduction. And this way I need to pronounce, for example, Sankt Peterburg instead of Sankt Peterburg. And this way, with practice, after 10 or 15 times of recognizing these features of pronunciation, it will come to you naturally. And it's important to practice this because it will make it easier for you to pronounce Russian words. For example, sometimes we have 3 or 4 consonants in the middle of a word and you think, oh my God, how can I pronounce it? But if you know that you don't need to pronounce these exact letters, you need to pronounce, for example, voiceless consonants instead, it becomes easier for you. So work smart, not hard, and find all the possible ways of making your language process easier but productive. I'm happy to say that we finished this course, and it means that now you are ready to read any Russian texts. Please don't forget to complete all the exercises below, and we have a group chat where you can share your experience, put your feedback. Maybe you wanted something more, or you have any suggestions, offers. Any feedback is very welcome. I will be there to congratulate you on finishing this course and to just wish you success in continuing learning the Russian language. I hope that this course was a very pleasant experience for you, and thank you for choosing this course for the start of your language learning process. And увидимся. Спасибо большое и удачи в изучении русского языка. Хорошего дня. Пока-пока.